What is up, maniacs? Welcome back to Sound and Pound. It is Tuesday, August 28th, 2024. We are here closing out the month. We've been all over the place the past 2 weeks, but it is I, Drake, and Alex here bring you the wacky and wild, all the crazy things happening in the world of mixed martial arts as we always typically do. But Jesus, month has been madness for me, Alex. I've been traveling all over the country, barely know what I'm doing these days, but we are here. We got to talk about things. We got to catch up on things. There's no UFC, so a little bit of a break for that, and we'll get to just answer and hang out with you guys. Feel free to submit all your questions you want. We'll probably mostly do a Q&A today since we are kind of getting back in the swing of things. We'll still get the movie club, though, because you got to keep up with that one. Don't you worry. I got to that. We had extra time, so still made it to the theater, of course. But, yeah, you guys, we will get right on to it. A lot of middleweight division talk, all that stuff. Feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that, yada, yada. Alex, how have things been? How's it been since I last saw you? How's it going in Vegas?
Man, it's been going. Last week was pretty wild. And the road to UFC was so bad. I almost skipped Vegas 96 because I was like, I don't know if I want to put myself through this again.
I can't do it.
But we're back. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Let's just talk.
Let's just talk. Let's just chit chat. Let's get into it. So, yeah, you guys, I mean, the last show we did was right before 305 because we missed last week. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, what?
I know, dude. It's been a minute. I forgot
Yeah.
we didn't even do it. Yeah, shit.
So we haven't discussed UFC 305. So let's just recap, reflect on that a little bit. He did it again. Alex DDP. You got to pick him now. No more picking against the guy. He knows how to win. He's the best at winning. Doesn't have to be pretty. The guy has his talent is winning, right? It might not be anything else, but he can do it. Puts away Israel Adesanya in the fourth round, rear naked choke or face crank, excuse me. Gets the tap. First guy to submit Izzy. Was pretty fun fight up until that point. I think I had him winning 2-1. I don't remember specifically which rounds. I know it's kind of all over the place. It was pretty competitive. People have their feelings on it, but fun fight. Great performance, I think, from both guys overall. And the guy he never stops. Like, he's one of those fighters, Alex, where, we'll say people either fight to win or they fight not to lose. DDP's always fighting to win. Doesn't matter. Like, when he can take these opportunities and not put his pedal to the metal, he will take it. He's just constant. And when you think he might be gassed, he finishes you. So, he's pretty legit, dude. What are your thoughts on this?
It's fucking insane. Like, dude, I've picked against him in all of his fights except for his first two fights. Other than that, I'm like, he's gonna lose to all these guys, and he just keeps doing it. I was so confident that Izzy was gonna beat him. I was just so confident. I was dude, I was like, there's no way Izzy loses this fight, and he just keeps doing it, and all the fighters are he's not technical. He just looks weird fighting, but he wins, and he does it ugly, but he does it. It's just and Dana White said right. He fights like a white guy dancing. It's so fucking
so
true.
Funny.
Even
that
though
was hilarious.
Even though I'm saying,
haven't seen Alex dance.
I'm a good dancer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I kind of take those comments to heart. I get down in the club, and that's what I'm saying. But
Yes, different story. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, it's very true. DDP just by any means necessary with the guy. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm curious to see how long he can keep this going, in the middleweight division, which continues to be weird and continually interesting, though, with the emergences of guys like Caio Borralho, who let's just touch on that real quick. Last week gets the job done against Jared Cannonier in a fight that should have been stopped, Alex. I believe pretty confidently that fight should have been a TKO for him in the fifth round. Oh my goodness. But overall, very, very impressive from Caio. Not the smartest fight he's ever fought because he struck with Jared the whole time, but he looked damn good doing it and won, obviously. But the fact that he could do that, again, I don't think it was a smart approach, but he got it done. So he's showing that he is an overall complete and dangerous fighter. So obviously some rounds there were not as good as others, but overall, Caio Borralho, he sold me a ticket, man. I think he's gonna fight for the title. I don't know if he'll win it, especially right now with DDP, who just always wins. But I'm sold on Caio after that one. I thought he looked very good for what
Yeah.
he was trying to show off.
In no world did I think Kyle Borralho was gonna fucking stand and strike with Derek Cannonier for 5 rounds. I just
No.
it was not in the cards, and I don't know if like he took the criticism to him like to heart. Like maybe he was reading the comments. Maybe I don't know what it was. Like he's like, no, I'm not gonna grapple this dude. I'm gonna stand and I'm gonna show everybody that I can stand with this guy. And yeah, he looked good. And the only ding I have on him is I don't know, when he dropped him in that 5th round, I don't know if it was like his lack of finishing ability, if it's Jared's toughness, if it's the referee making it like giving Jared
I
Cannonier
feel like a ton
every
of refs would have
opportunity.
stopped that once he fell. Once he fell to the ground. And then there was a point where he like got hammer fisted out right after, like I don't know.
Someone made a good point that like if Kyle would have like backed off and didn't fall him to the ground, the referee might have stopped it
Mm,
because of the way Jared fell. Like
yeah.
um, also uh, F for the calling out DDP, bro. Like it ain't happening. It just Strickland's ahead of you and Robert Whitaker's ahead of you. Like it just makes zero sense. He should have called out Israel Adesanya. I feel like that was a
Yeah.
layup. Like just
He's not a very good call out guy.
no. I mean, he's called DDP twice. Granted, he did call out Derek Cannonier for a main event for the Apex, got that one, but like everything else, just like
See,
dude,
when
like
you do the reasonable thing, Kyle, you get it.
by calling out DDP, like bro. And then he said, "Oh," and then he's telling DDP to come to him, like you know,
Yeah,
it's just
not how that works.
it's there's clear 2 people ahead of you. Why would you do that? But whatever. Fighters are delusional, and they will continue their delusion.
Yeah, middleweight in this case for
Although I
sure.
will say, you brought it up, but it's just crazy, dude. For years, middleweight division was dog shit, and now it's like it's very interesting. It's very very
Mhm.
interesting. There's a logjam at the top. And there's people coming up the bottom of the division, like Anthony Hernandez and Michelle Pereira at the bottom of the division. Like it's crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, things are getting very interesting in all sorts of ways. I mean, Shara Bullett's also floating around. We'll see how far he can go. It's just a shout that they've been pushing, of course. But GM3's breaking records, baby. There's also GM3 out there. Bo Nickel on the rise. I mean, there is a lot going on at middleweight, actually, the more you think about it. So
Yeah.
um, it is wild. I think this worked out pretty good for him, though, timing wise, with these events back to back and like really spotlighted it, like they were both great fights. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see. Um, do you believe we'll see the Strickland rematch come through?
Yeah. Um, I think so. The question is, and I asked Dana last night, like if he plans to hold DDP for South Africa, because like that's the
Right,
real
right.
question about it. Like if they're planning to do South Africa early, I mean like first quarter next year, I could see them
Mhm.
holding out. Maybe early summer they can maybe hold out DDP for that, but like it depends when they want to do that, because if it's going to be like late next year, I don't know if they're going to hold him on the sidelines that long. And if that's the case, just do him versus Strickland in December in Vegas or March in Vegas. Like that's the real question that we need to kind of have answered: is when do they plan on going to South Africa? Because it kind of throws a wrench into things.
Yeah. I will say though, it'd be super typical if like they end up planning it and it misses a timeline where he can get on it. Like that's just how UFC shit ends up going,
Yeah,
right?
they plan South Africa for like July, right? They're like, all right, but you have to
Uh-huh.
fight once before that, and then Sean Strickland beats him or some shit.
Yeah, something stupid. He gets totally injured in a win, like ACL tear, something bad. You're like, God damn, come on, man. But
that's very UFC.
yes, the MMA gods are not kind. Oh goodness. But all right, before we kind of get more to your questions, you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Follow MMA Mania on all the platforms. But Alex, anything else we want to give some shine to that happened the past 2 weeks? I'll just say, in terms of the typical segments we do, underrated moment. I want to give some love to Wang Tong, right? She went out there, killed it, put on a highlight reel performance that got the postponed bonus against Victoria Leonardo. Very fun addition to flyweight, though. We kind of expected some good things out of her, especially in that matchup. So it worked out. It worked out very nicely. Very excited to see what happens next for her.
Do you think the UFC could push her like they did? Not as heavy as Alex Pereira, but like, do you think they could really kind of give her a little, go?
Not a chance. No, no, I don't think
Really?
so. I think that maybe she'll fight someone top 20-ish range next. Like, I think she'll be pretty fast in terms of the opponent she gets next, but like she still doesn't have a whole lot of MMA experience. And for some reason, they've just all of a sudden completely fucked and botched like flyweight and promoting China specifically too. Like something weird has just happened where they stopped kind of caring, it seems like. So I don't think they're going to try and do that. And they don't necessarily need to. They just need to get through this Grasso Shevchenko rivalry, and then we'll go from there pretty much. Like the worst possible thing that could happen is that continue to drag out after the 14th, so
Yeah, Valentina wins, and then they do a fourth fight.
exactly. It just would be awful for the division. So I still can't believe they waited a whole fucking year to do the trilogy. Like, oh man, it's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously we know why they did, but come on, there were no injuries or anything. The fucking Ultimate Fighter, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah, no, for sure. But no, I'm with you with like Wentong. Like she came out, obviously the opponent she faced is there to get knocked out. But if she's there to knock out and you go knock her out, you did your job, right? Like
yes, exactly. No, I saw some people saying she shouldn't get the bonus because of the opponent or whatever. And like, I understand a certain side of that, but people were like shitting on her because of who she fought. It's like, dude, she doesn't matchmake herself. Like, fuck off. Like, that shit
yeah,
was so dumb.
it's a UFC
She was a
debut. Like,
12,000 fight favorite. Like, okay, that's not her fucking fault. Aside from being good, like some people are dumb, dude.
yeah,
But yeah.
some people,
In
most
terms
people.
of most people, good point. In terms of what fits for a maniacal moment, Floyd Mayweather just decides that he can change referees mid-boxing match, which is, I got some flack for that too, but I'm not hearing it. I'm not having it because I don't care who the fuck you are, even if it's an exhibition or not, whatever. You should never have that kind of control in a fight. Sorry, that's not what. Crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, insanity. It's just
I don't know why
pure.
people watch those anymore.
No, I know it's so bad. Like, what's the motive watching those fights? Especially like John Gotti the
Maybe
third.
Floyd will finally get knocked out.
Yeah, against John
Fuck off.
Gotti. Like what? Who is that much of a degenerate that you're gonna watch Floyd Mayweather versus John Gotti the rematch?
Yeah, we already saw that.
Like it's just
That's
Floyd Mayweather is the most like
he's the prize fighter.
the prize fight 1,000. I was trying to like find a word. Like, dude, he can get a fucking bag whichever way he
Poster
wants,
boy.
and like fuck.
It's crazy. It should be studied, really. His ability to do that. Like,
Dude, it's insane. It's insane.
It doesn't make any sense, but Oh, all right, you guys. Well, we'll carry on now. We'll get to some of your comments, questions, concerns. We appreciate you so much. Ghost kicked us off here, saying had CGI and UFC 305 on at the same time, and I was oddly drawn to Jones versus Garcia while Tuivasa versus Rosenstrike was going on. I don't
Dude,
think that's odd at all.
CJI
Tell us
was
about
the shit,
CGI.
dude.
Yeah, how was that?
Fucking fantastic. It was. It
Craig
was. It
Jones,
was.
first of all, just an amazing performer,
Dude,
entertainer.
it was a joy. It was a joy to watch. It was a joy to be there. The vibe was cool. And I think they knocked it out of the park. By like, it could not have gone any more perfect. To be honest, like they like the cool thing and like the big thing they obviously like they set out to make a point, right? Like that was
Yeah,
their first motive for it all was to like we're gonna pay these fighters and we're gonna make you look like fucking assholes, ADCC. And I think
right.
they won on every level because ADCC got shit on this year.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's behind a paywall, right? So only hardcore jiu-jitsu guys are gonna pay to watch that shit. CJI was free. It had the vibes. It had the Rutola brothers. It had Nicky Rod. It had everybody. It had Mackenzie Dern. It had Craig Jones versus Gabby Garcia. Like, it
Right.
had everything, right? Like, and like I said, it was for free, so more people watched it. I would not be surprised if, and it's like, you know, concurrent viewers. Like that's the thing that
Mm-hmm.
like that CJ is leaving out of the like all the stats they're releasing. Like, dude, they had concurrent at what the first night went until 1:30 at night PST, and there was 93,000 people watching it at 1:30. Like that's insane. That's insane.
Jeez.
You know,
Yeah.
like yeah. So they knocked out of the park. I can't wait to see what they do next time. Oh, I just feel like it was a 5-star fucking try, and they did it. So I really liked the pit. I really liked the rule set. Yeah, fucking
Right
bravo.
on. Okay. All right. We love to hear that. The only complaint I saw from people was that a little long.
So the
That
first
was like
night
the only
was
complaint I saw, though.
yeah. So the first night they did all of the first matchups and the quarterfinals. Also, they put the big so it was very weird. Like they did the big guys first, which was by far the worst thing of the event, other than Nicky Rod. And then
Mm-hmm.
instead of doing the first round, big guys, small guys, they do the big guys and then they do the quarterfinals for the big guys.
Okay.
And I think why they did that is because they knew it was going to be a long day, so they wanted to keep the crowd around to watch the small guys go.
Mm.
But if you think about it, if they would have done the big guys and then the small guys and then do the quarterfinals, people are going to stay around anyway to watch who advances to the next day. So I don't know. I think I don't know. That was the only like kind of like head scratcher of
Yeah.
the thing, but you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well,
product
yeah. I
was
mean, if
so good
that's
that like yeah, like the product was so good that like it was kind of forgivable, you know.
right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's good then for sure. All right, we'll move along. Jimmy chiming in saying, has to be a maniacal moment, has to be Ioli getting fired a year ago. Yeah, on first show to make MA media better.
oof.
Well, you said it, not us, Jimmy, but you know, it is maniacal though. I saw people pointing that out. I think it might have been in some of our chats as well, actually. Oh man. Synchro, yeah, we touched on CJI there. Jin says I talk about ignoring sports watching when Abu Dhabi puts on great fights, but when they announce Power Slap, I think I need to talk about the Saudis sports washing and human rights violations. All right, there you go. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, Rio says maniacal moment is the fact that DDP is the best worst fighter ever. I hope he has a long reign to prove that being knucklehead is good.
Yeah.
The
Best worst
best
fighter
worst
is like
fighter ever.
it's a perfect. I mean, 1,000%.
So yeah, it's effective, man. He's broken. He's the cheat code, broken the system a little bit. Okay, so I I believe that this is breaking news. I've been very busy just the whole month, but today did I miss Oliveira versus Volkanovski was announced. Cole Shelton says at MSG. Is this a thing? What's happening? Is he trolling? Oh, I
That's
know what
super.
this is. Never mind.
That's
Never
bro.
mind.
That
It's
is
meta.
super. That's super crazy, bro.
You got me there, Cole. I glanced over what you're referring to, and now, yeah. Whoa.
You
Fucking
got,
Jesus
bro.
Christ.
You
I got.
got.
Dude, I've been literally live talking to somebody since like 9:30. I've been going all day. Oh my goodness. Shameless plug. Broad Horizon coming tomorrow, you guys. Ghost says, I said this a few weeks back, DDP is mechanically hideous but tactically brilliant, and he chooses to be tactical by double jabbing in the 4th round. I mean, that's pretty accurate too, man. Like, he knows the times to turn it up with, whether it's being tactical at the right time or just getting in your face. I mean, and the dude thumps, man. Like, that finishing sequence on Izzy, Alex, I don't want to say he necessarily rocked him or hurt him too bad, but those were some thumpers, man. He's got some cannons. We've seen, obviously, he's knocked people out before, but he's just dangerous everywhere.
1000%. And of course, there's gonna be people that are saying Izzy's washed up. Bro, like Israel looked
No.
fantastic. He looked fantastic. He looked very, very good. It's just, I think you're right. He definitely rocked him in that round, and then did DDP things like
Yeah.
I don't
Best
know. I
way
don't
to put
fucking
it,
know.
really.
Like
South African magic.
dude,
Voodoo.
fucking voodoo, bro.
Colostrum says DDP versus Hamza on the ground would be interesting. I wonder who would win the scrambles. Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, the triangle we have now, the grappling triangle combination of matchups between DDP, Hamzat, and Caio, I think those are all fascinating ground matchups. What do you think?
1000%. Yeah, for sure.
Who do you think would be a worse matchup for Hamzat, DDP or Bahayo?
Probably
I feel
DDP.
like Bahayo might be because of his jiu-jitsu. It's tough. I mean, they're both different, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Kyle use his jiu-jitsu against someone high level though. Like
That's a good point. Yeah.
we haven't really seen it. Like we've seen it, you know. I would still say DDP for sure. I think it's just like his power, his weirdness, his ability to take a shot. Like, yeah.
I think that's a really good point, actually, because when you look at like historically those classic cases of phenomenal BJJ guys who go up against an uber talented wrestler who's really good defensively, for example, like we get things like Woodley versus Maya, like
Yeah.
so that could
Yeah.
be exactly how
Like
the Hamzat fight would play out.
if Kyle would have fought somebody like Fluffy coming up, and like that's something that's like
A good test, an example,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. Well, I hope we get to find out soon enough. Jin says, I like to talk about 185. I think it's good that Caio emerges because we would have been left with a bunch of rematches at the top of the division. Yeah, it was getting pretty, no matter if Strickland was to, if he gets the title shot, no matter what, like I said, it would have been a rematch either direction. So, yeah, we're getting some good freshness here for sure. Caio versus Izzy is fire, says Colostrum. Indeed. Rain says the Craig Jones Invitational of making DDP look sensational. How funny would it be if they go to Africa for DDP, but not the Three Kings era? So that's the thing, right? It's like, yeah, it's insane. It's pretty insane. And that's how it's looking like it's going to be. So I don't know. I don't know what to add to that, really. It is just it's a political possibilities. I don't know.
UFC and things,
Yeah, dropping the ball, not having fun, all these things, you name it. Jen says, to GM3 remind us of Paul Craig. The game plan is to lose and get beat up, then win. But if the opponent is smart, they just lose. They're very good at getting beat up and then winning. That is very accurate. And I think they should fight each other next. And that's kind of the direction we're heading, isn't it, Alex?
A plus call out for GM3. Like you fucking knew the assignment and you did it.
Yeah.
And in that fight, whoever gets rocked first is going to win. So,
yeah, the guy who gets hurt first.
yeah,
They should just punch themselves in the face.
yeah, right, yeah, and then they get like Super Saiyan or some shit.
Yeah, just go nuts. Oh my god. Yeah, that fight is gonna be just middleweight at its middleweightest. Oh,
And
Synchro is
I'm
we're
fucking
here
here
for
for
it.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Synchro says, Drake, you covered PFL. How out of touch is Don Davis for saying that he was worldwide leagues? He has worldwide leagues where they match make by region. I like PFL, but the stuff they're doing is annoying. I don't know if that's necessarily out of touchness as much as it is incredible cherry picking, right, Alex? Like, it's he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing with those kind of comments. But and it's the thing is, here's the thing. He is stating facts, right? Like the PFL brand having spots and putting on shows in these places technically makes them the biggest show in the country. But if there's no competition, who cares? That's kind of the thing. So,
So, like,
what do you got, Alex?
I think what they're doing is smart in theory, right? Branching out
Yeah.
into Africa and branching out
Oh, yeah.
Australia and having these
Build a
leagues, right?
base, these things.
It's very smart. But if your fucking global league is the problem with the organization and you can't fix the fucking global league, there's a problem, right? Like, if your global league is dog shit, what do you think bringing in no
The
names from
smaller versions.
Africa is going to do? You know, like, you have to fix the fucking first thing. You know, like that's the
biggest
number
thing,
one thing.
actually.
Yes,
The main thing.
and yes, you can get $7 billion a year from Saudi Arabia to keep doing what you're doing, but if your fights are dog shit, your product is not going to be watchable.
Simple as.
The global league has been unwatchable this week. They have the best roster they've ever had in their organization, but it's by far the worst fucking season it's ever been.
It's wild. It
It
is kind of
is
insane, dude.
so bad, dude. The flyweight division is so fun to watch. The light heavyweight division had 4 champions in it, 5 champions in it. And the featherweights, the welterweights were stacked, and it was just a dog shit fucking season, dude. No one, nothing. There's no storylines. There's nothing to write about. There's nothing. There's just nothing there. Dakota is the only thing that's a little bit. You can write about her. Other than that, there's nothing, dude. It's just unwatchable, and it's painful. It's painful to say that because there needs to be a viable number 2 option.
Yeah, we want them to succeed, guys. We want
1,000%. Dude, I love the PFL. I want them to succeed. The MMA ecosystem needs them to succeed. There needs to be a viable number 2 option other than the UFC. And there's just nothing. They are so fucking far behind the UFC. It's not even. You can't even compare them. They're not like Don Davis needs to shut the fuck up and not talk about the UFC ever again. Like they're not even in the same fucking universe. You know, like it's just, dude, just keep your head down, grind, and like make the PFL good. You know, like dude, please, for the love of fucking MMA.
I mean, it's so. I kind of had an eye-opening moment, and not that I didn't know it already, right? But you said just the difference in the universes that they're in, right? But being at that press conference there, and first of all, let's just say this: I don't know how we're supposed to care about the events and the season and all that, Alex, when they don't give a fuck when they make the press conference a bigger deal than the fight week. I didn't even know the fights were happening in DC when I went there. I'm not kidding. You know, I work in this industry. I didn't know the fucking fights were happening the day after because they didn't promote them. But the thing was too, like being there at that, and then Francis comes out and everything. I'm like, man, he's got to feel that this is a different, smaller thing. Like, I was just thinking to myself, like, it's not there right now. Like, I felt kind of bad for him, especially even just going from the boxing stuff he was doing, like that was bigger too, all this. And then it's like, all right, here we go, back on down. It was wild. It was kind of trippy, man.
1000%. Yeah, it's just like, dude, it's painful to watch. It's just like it's painful to watch. It's painful to
Oh, and
try
the
and
audio
cover.
issues. I don't know if you watched the press
Oh,
conference, dude, but it
dude,
was he didn't hear me. First of all, I had to repeat my question like
dude,
4 times.
yeah, man,
I was
I
almost like,
know.
fuck it, I'm leaving.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't blame you, dude. Yeah, it's man, it just sucks. It just sucks.
I
You know.
know it hurts. It hurts the soul. So, hopefully they have a good championship. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, with how bad the fucking season was, and who gives a fuck who are in the finals? I doubt it, dude. Like they
Just
need
looking
to.
forward to Dakota Santos. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah.
Yeah. Shameless plug, you guys did catch up with Dakota while I was in DC, so check that out on the channel. That is out now. Spoke to her on what was it, last Friday? I think it was Thursday, whenever it was. It was before the press conference. But yes, Rio says, have you guys seen the kickboxing match between Tong and Valentina? Tong beats her up. Then Val starts complaining about clinching when Valentina is the one initiating them. Haven't seen the match yet. Obviously, heard a bunch about it now, but I will definitely go and find it on the tube, wherever it is. Have you seen it, Alex?
Well, if you go to MMA Mania, I wrote a story about it, and I embedded the fights in my
Aha!
story.
I teed him up, you guys. I set him up for that. There you go. That's right. I did actually see that. So I set you up. Let's see. Hype, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Good to see you, brother. It's been a minute. Rio says, I made $400 on Fionn Davies submitting Mackenzie Dern. I have inside information. Brandon Olivas, who said that Dern is washed grappling-wise since she only trains wrestling and striking primarily separately. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, Mackenzie Dern's still a phenomenal grappler, submission artist, all these things, but she's been out of BJJ competition
She
specifically
also fought
for
like
a
a
good
month
while.
prior to that.
Yes, she also just had the fight. Fionn Davies is one of the best in the world. Like, it was pretty much setting her up for failure. But how long was it, Alex? She lasted a decent bit, didn't she?
It was like two. It
It's
was
a
like 2
longer
minutes.
match.
No,
Okay, maybe not as long as I thought.
Yeah. Wait, was it? Was it set? No, they went. They went 2 rounds. I'm sorry. They went 2
Okay,
rounds.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But that first, like she fucked Mackenzie Dern up.
Okay, so yeah, I got toyed with a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fionn Davies, pretty darn good. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Hold on. What do we got from Ramiro? I've asked this before. There's a lot of hatred for Aioli and my friend Lucas Chartier. Since when is being pro UFC a bad thing? Both you get opportunities because of the UFC. I don't quite understand what you're saying. I'm being asked to community note it.
He's saying why are you hating people? Why are you hating on people that love the UFC when we
We don't
cover
hate people
the
that love
sport?
the UFC, Ramiro. We hate people who lie about things being good when they're not. That's what it is. There are good things in the UFC, but also this year there's been a whole lot of fucking bad. Okay, so if you're gonna say that it's all been good, you're objectively fucking wrong. Plain and simple. That is it. So we just don't like liars. That's really all it is. You can be pro UFC all day. I mean, Alex, he admits to being a shill. He says he dick rides all the time.
Dude, I am a fucking UFC shield to the fucking core,
See,
bro.
there you go. Which, funny enough, by default makes you not a shill by admitting you're a shill. There's a whole thing to that. So, yeah, that's what we mean, Ramiro.
Yeah, that's a mind fucker right there.
Yeah, some dichotomy. Rainiel is here. What's up, buddy? I was watching the ESPN post fight show, and Dean Thomas said that Izzy looked horrible. Why is he trying to be like Stephen A. Smith? Maybe he believed that. I mean, Dean Thomas, he's always been a big personality, good coach, gives good insight during the fights. I like when he does do that stuff, but I didn't. I mean, what was his explanations, Ray Neal? Maybe chime in. I don't know if you saw that, Alex, but I'm sure he had his reasons what he thought.
I didn't
But
watch it, but I've seen people talk about it. I mean, it's just a dude's opinion, right? Like just
yeah,
like Stephen A. Smith, like it just plays a fucking opinion. Yeah, he's a little bit more out there, but
yeah. And I honestly, I don't think I've seen too much crazy stuff from Dean Thomas. I mean, compared to Steven, he kind of got
he
his
did
crazy stuff.
he did say John Silva should get a title shot from beating Drew Dober.
Okay, well, I love how you had that loaded, ready to go on me.
You know,
There's that. Fuck it, I'm with him. Let's go. It'll be fun. Oh, jeez. Yeah, for GM3 Craig, for sure, Jin. What do we got here? Cole saying, is Don Davis just becoming the new Chattery? A little bit, actually. A little bit. I hate to say that. Kinda, sorta. Kinda, sorta. You notice Chatter's been very quiet lately. I wonder what's going on. So, he's been a little silent. So,
yeah, probably because his
as a
product fucking sucks too.
is kind of tanking and the investors are disappearing and scrambling. But what do I know? There you go. Zach, what's up, buddy? Alex nailed it. Best roster they've ever had access to do nothing with. Yeah. It just boggles the mind. I really don't know what happened, like what went wrong there.
Like, dude, you get the Bellator roster and you don't use any of their fucking stars. Like what? Like what are you doing?
Yeah. To somehow not make Patchy Mix the biggest star in your promotion, automatically giving him anything he wants. First of all, a season, if you're going to do that, centerpiece him, off to the races. Nah, we'll just throw him on the Bellator shows over in Europe.
And have him fight once this year. He's only fought once. And that was in fucking January or February, whenever they had the Bellator versus PFL card.
Even Usman.
Yeah.
Fighting next week. You could have had that guy in the tournament running through everyone. Make your star.
Dude.
Make your Nurmagomedov name. Take yourselves to the moon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fight AJ McKee once this year? Like, dude, like.
Well, he's fighting Hughes. He's fighting Hughes coming up here. That's
happening. Yeah, but he fought in fucking February.
Okay. So yeah, I know.
And then he's fighting in October.
Yeah, first and last. All right. Okay. I hear you.
God damn.
It's frustrating. I know. All the people we want to see, we're not getting to see. So that's their problem, is not letting us see these fighters we want to see.
Johnny Elbow's only fought once this year, too. He fought Impa in February, and now he's fighting a meaningless rematch against Fabian Edwards, dude. Like,
that fight happened like last year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, they fucked that one up from the beginning by saying that the Jeffrey fight was a title eliminator. Like, should have just given Jeffrey the title shot. Oh, boy. I don't know. Sign Collectibles, what's up? Says, what is up with Marab? Just being Marab, really. Just goofing around, having a good time before his big fight. That's all there is to it, really. What's up with him right now? I don't know. I could hit him up for you, but not sure.
Marab doing
Cole says PFL. Yeah, exactly. PFL needs to scrap the season 100%. Hopefully they do that next year. I mean,
I don't think they're ever gonna. I don't think they're gonna scrap just the. If anything, they're gonna make it a tournament, which would fix a lot of things, take the points out, do a big thing at the beginning of the year, and announce the matchups, the first two matchups. Do it randomly. Like, there's so much things they could do. It's so easy to do. Like, but
yeah. But here we are. But PFL. Yeah, for you. Synchro says, I'm also interested in PFL. It's just the amount of bells and whistles they throw at me instead of just making the best fights. Dude, I'm the biggest PFL proponent in this group, and even I don't like the seasonal format. That is true, Synchro. Yeah, you've always been very positive towards PFL, but you're like so frustrated. I can't imagine being you. You've been riding and dying.
MMA is its own fucking weird thing. Like it just
Yeah,
doesn't work. It doesn't work in MMA. It just doesn't.
no, no. And we've went over all the reasons why it doesn't plenty.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just hopefully they notice this before it's too late. Oh, fingers crossed. Yeah, Ghost says shillception a little bit of shillception there. Ray Neal says Dean Thomas said Izzy had no volume and his get-ups were horrible. Okay. He even said that Izzy looked slow and old. I mean, I think he was more patient, really. That was a thing. I don't think he looked too slow or old or that type of stuff. Yeah, he didn't throw a whole lot. I don't think having no volume was a bad thing necessarily. Like he picked his shots well and it paid off for him more often than not. Had some really hard body shots. The leg kicks were working well. And his get-ups maybe not the most technical, but he wasn't like pinned down for any long periods of time. Of course, the finishing sequence there, but I don't know. That's very interesting from Dean. I think he's being maybe a little nitpicky with it. Maybe had higher hopes or expectations from Adesanya, but yeah, breaking down those specific things, I think I disagree with. So yeah, is what it is. James asking, did we see Miguel and Ghost critique Adesanya's footwork and espoused pivoting, but the MMA community argued that pivoting is bad? How insane is that? I saw the pivoting conversation come up, a lot of Usyk comparisons and talk. Yeah, I mean, haters gonna hate. That's all it is. Yeah, Miguel, I saw he was getting some flack for some crazy stuff this week too, or whatever. Let's see, we're almost caught up here. Ramiro Jones, here's a follow-up question. Is the hate I see for Lucas Chartier warranted? Is that a coach, Alex? Why does that name feel like
I have no fucking idea who that is. I have no idea.
okay, well, okay.
It's
There's
not
Tyson
Tyson.
Chartier.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have no
that's why I
fucking
was like,
idea who Lucas Chartier is, bro.
yeah. So I can't tell you. We can't answer that, Ramiro. Does
Yeah.
phenomenal work breaking
Yeah.
down scorecards.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah. Sorry. Might be a great guy, but we don't know who he is. Or could be the worst guy. I don't know. If he's getting hate, there's something to that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Oh, here's a fun one because Alex, he updated this for us last night. Actually, Rio says, "What's your opinion on the UFC having 700 fighters on the roster, more diluted product for cheaper and bigger, or bigger and better, like some people say?" That's yeah. There's two ways to look at that, right? I lean towards the former.
Yeah, there's 200. The roster could easily be 500, like 1,000%. Like they still have COVID signings on the roster. Like but they're stuck in a hard place because they have to put on a certain amount of events, so they need fighters, right? So
Yeah, exactly. And it's like with the Contender Series, you have to bring people in to do that show. You can't go like an episode not signing someone. You could, never happened, never gonna happen, but like that show demands increases to the roster. That's what it
it's
is.
just like, and the show is just like, I wish it would go back to season 1, 2, 3, where like he was very selective on the fighters.
Yeah.
It's like, and he should. There's already 700 fighters on the roster. Like, dude, be picky. Not every fight or every finish or like there's.
I think it would be interesting next week, Alex. You should ask him like, is there like a cap? Do you see a possibility to too many? Like, could you have 1,000 guys? Like, that's an interesting kind of concept to think about and see what he would say to that. So
For sure.
Because again, like if the season continues to trend how it is, and you cycle in only so much while getting out others, it's gonna get way up there, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're gonna sign another 40 guys, but then they're gonna cut some. Speaking of the girl Panty, your girl Panty's not in the UFC anymore.
I did see that. It's very sad, but I told you after that fight, I don't know how much she had left in her anyway, so I don't know how many more fights we'll see from Panty, but yeah, that one's a bummer. That one's a bummer for sure. But all right, Ramiro says Lucas is an independent journalist who gets targeted for his pro UFC stance. So again, if it's what we said earlier, then good. He should get targeted for it. Being outspoken about judging, nothing wrong with that. I'm all about that too. I go after the judges myself. So That's cool. That's good. Unless he's like a terrible judge, then that's not great. But, you're making an interesting case for him. I'll say that. James says someone mentioned this before, but saying wrong fight announcements should make you untrustworthy. Yes. So is why is Marcel making the? I see what's happening. Let's do this.
We
Because
see
you're
what.
throwing up
Yeah.
shit at the wall. Sometimes you'll stick it, and that's the whole name of this guy's game.
We
We'll leave
see
it
what
on
you're
that.
doing, James. We're seeing what you're doing, James. We see it. We see it.
James, we'll talk on my YouTube channel maybe on Friday. Okay. Okay. Go to my personal channel and get in my game streams. We got to get back up on those. But all right, yeah. Rio asking what movie were we supposed to watch for the movie club? We are currently in Alien Romulus week. So beautiful
Yeah.
segue, Rio. Let's get to it. Let's get to the Dralex Movie Club. Alex wrapping up the Q&A right there. We'll get back to more if you guys want to throw them in, but I did not pull up our image here. Give me a moment for Alien Romulus. Which we had plenty of time to get to it. It's kind of good that we pushed back because I was not gonna make it. But I am so happy that I did, Alex, because this movie, as we get into it here, was an absolute delight. Alien Romulus superseded my expectations, really. I'll let you start, man, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. And again, as a guy who hasn't seen too much, it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. I liked it. What'd you think?
Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, the tension was good. It just did everything correctly. The only thing that knocked it is the last 15 minutes. There are some like very out there
Maybe scientific
things that just will not
inconsistencies.
1000%. But I also think that like we're watching a movie about an alien killing people, so like we're already like kind of
You're in
putting
on
our 1000%. So like I think, to be honest, what it's going to hinge on is if like you can get behind the last 15 minutes of the movie, and if it works
Yeah.
for you, then like this movie is an A+, right? So other than those last 10 15 minutes where I'm just like, I mean, come on. I thought the movie was fucking flawless. I thought it was such a
Yeah.
good time. The kills were good, the tension was good, the sound design, the dark. Fede Alvarez is he's so good at what
I'll
he
just
does.
say, man, like this is just such a nightmare. The whole thing is so
Yeah.
it's such a nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's the best
Yeah.
compliment I can give it, really.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, 1000%. It's just terrific. And like, they make the characters like you're not really you don't really root for really the characters in a sense. Maybe like the main girl and like her
Yes.
brother, but like other than that, like it's basically characters that
You
are like,
cheer for survival pretty
yeah,
much. That's what you're
exactly,
rooting for.
1000%. Like there's not like like I wish that person would live. I don't know, like what I'm saying, like there's like one asshole that you're like, all right,
Yeah,
I can't wait for him to die. But other than that, like
and I
you're
think
just
they even
watching people
gave him
survive.
they gave him good reason to be an asshole. It was kind of like,
Right.
like, okay, man, well, it's specific to situations and whatnot, but there's people like that. So I thought, it was understandable why he was how he was. So,
Yeah. No, 1000%.
yeah, it was it was cool though. It was a fun time. It was really intense. It did not feel like its runtime. It was a pretty smooth, breezy 2 hours. I think that's because you're just fucking shitting yourself the whole time, like just
Yeah.
gripping the seat.
Yeah, like it flew by. The first 30 minutes, even though it does take a little bit of time to like get going a little bit, but
Mhm.
once it gets going, it is, dude,
Oh man.
0 to
I
100
know when
real
you
fast.
like the first real encounter that happens. Ooh, the speed where things get picking up. You're like, oh god,
Yeah,
it's on.
yeah,
Like the off to the races from that. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and I mean there was great internal kind of story within the overall thing, right? Like I liked the AI conflict. I don't think that's a spoiler to say, but there is a really big kind of AI element to it that is a consistent theme. which was really good. Kaylee Spaney, man. I mean, let's just say it. Big year. Phenomenal stuff from her. She was great in Civil War earlier this year, and excellent in this. I'm really, really excited to see what is next for her. Thought she killed it. She was really a good star of the movie, and I'm just so happy to see it for her as this kind of new emerging actress getting this role, working with Fede, and then the movie's fucking awesome. So, um, yeah, I want to give a shout out to her. But this is like, yeah, maybe like a solid 9 for me. I had one thing I didn't quite like about the ending as much. I totally get what you're saying. It was more of my expectations though. Like I didn't have too many problems with it, but pretty comfortable 9. I enjoyed the hell out of this, honestly.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I think it's all 9 out of 10.
All right. All right. There we
Yeah,
go. We love to see it.
yeah, and if it wasn't for those last 15 minutes, I might go to that 10 out of 10. But it was just like the unbelievability of stuff that was happening. It
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah. How horrifying was kind of what was happening at the end, though. Like, Jesus Christ. That was insane, dude.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah.
And I kind of knew it was coming, like as the movie goes on, like this thing is going to happen. I just don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah,
Like,
1000%.
and when you see it, you're like, I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Yeah, 1000%.
Oh, man. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Jesus. Fade's awesome, dude. He's got this stuff on lock. So pleasantly surprised with how great this was. Rio Sai says, I thought it was just as good as Prometheus. Maybe better than Prometheus. So what were your thoughts on that movie, Alex? I know that was kind of a divisive one. I haven't seen it, of course, but that was like a prequel, wasn't it?
I really like
little bit.
Prometheus. Yeah, I like Prometheus. I think this one, I think Alien Romulus is like probably third best. After it goes Aliens and then I'll go Alien Romulus and then I'll go Prometheus. But yeah, I really like Prometheus.
Okay. All right. There we go. And Rio also asked in comparison from aesthetics to the original Alien in this one.
It's
Big
tough
time
because
period gap there.
yeah, it's tough. The first Alien is a masterpiece, and it's like you can't really compare them because when it's 70s and when it's 2024, right, or I don't know, the 70s or 80s, but like it's really hard to compare. I think they got the tone pretty correct.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, there you go, Rio. Yeah, it was good. This is one I'm looking forward to rewatching. Like, it's not a fun time necessarily. It's fun in a scary way. Like, it's more enjoyable to watch than like a Long Legs or something intense like one of those thrillers. But
right.
It's good. I'm really happy with it. So, all right, you guys, there you go. Alien Romulus, getting us right there. So we got to move on now this week, Alex. What should we do? Should we get back to the old theme? Keep the summer of new releases going? I don't even know what's coming out this week, but what are we feeling?
August has been shit, to be honest. Other than
overall,
yeah, it's been very, very bad. So Beetlejuice comes out next in September 6th. Yeah, so that'll be next. But yeah, I think I actually have a request from someone to give you a movie, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. Good Will Hunting.
All right, so that's my roommate and best friend, Tanner.
Dude, he fucking found my He found my email, emailed me, and said, "Make this motherfucker watch it." So I said, "All right."
He's been telling me this for literally 10 years. So when I told him that we're doing this, he's like, I'm going to finally get you to watch that fucking movie because he thinks it's like the masterpiece of all masterpieces, So
there you go. Tanner, there you go.
So he's going to be so happy to see this. Oh, that's incredible.
Dude,
because he actually sent you an email a couple months ago.
He did. No, he sent me May 5th. He sent me one May 5th. And I remember
before that we even moved in.
And I remember seeing it, and I was like, "All right." I noted, but I didn't save it, so I completely fucking forgot about it. And then he emailed me like fucking 2 days ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, I feel bad." All right,
here we go. Oh man, that's awesome. I thought you were just gonna ignore it. Yeah, shout out to Tanner. Yep, there we go, Rio. What the fuck? I haven't seen Good Will. Yeah. I know. He's giving me shit for our whole lives. Okay, you guys. I've known him since 6th grade. I've been hearing it every year. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, now I gotta take a selection for you here. Um. Okay, Alex. Let's see. I got this on my list. I should take it out. I think I already brought up Warm Bodies to you. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
seeing this in here, and you've already seen that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, I thought I already asked about that one. Oh, I'm gonna give you a fun one. Speaking of my childhood and the throwback days here, did you ever see Black Dynamite with Michael Jai White?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Big
yeah,
cult classic.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, that movie's hilarious, man. We watched that one in high school and we're dying.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. How about okay, newer one here. 2021, Old Henry.
Oh, Henry, what the fuck is that?
Tim Blake Nelson.
No, I have not.
All right. All right. There you go. We'll throw that one at you.
All
A
right.
little early 1900s action. It was see what you think. See what you think. All right. You can't see this, but I'm putting both hands on my face. As Rio, he's doing the Kevin McAllister in
Yeah.
horror.
Before we watch
Uh,
Beetlejuice next week or whenever it is, have you seen the original Beetlejuice?
oh yeah, no, that was a childhood movie
Okay.
of mine too. I watched
Okay,
it.
good.
I
I was
had it on
gonna.
VHS. I watched it all the time at my grandma's
Okay.
house.
Okay.
I
I
watched
was.
it on one of the plane rides actually, a couple planes ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, before we close up the movie club here, let's do a little rapid review here because I
Okay.
did watch two other movies this week, and I know you saw some others too that I want to
Yeah.
get your thoughts on. But yeah, so while I was away this whole month, really, let's see, I finally got to see Bullet Train. I watched Bullet Train
Oh,
on the plane.
nice.
Um, really enjoyed that one. There were some little kind of CGI moments that I was like, okay, but suspend the disbelief. I like the cast of characters a lot. The Thomas the Train reoccurring joke got old, I will say, but overall, I thought it was really fun. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Yeah, the characters kind of really saved the whole thing when you make a film that's on a train, but it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. And then I also saw Mother by Darren Aronofsky, which
Oh,
did you ever
that
see
was
that one? Yeah.
yes,
Jennifer Lawrence.
that was very divisive when it came out.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was pretty brilliant though for what he was going for with it. It was a very unique way to tell the story that he was telling. Of course, if you guys are unfamiliar with that, it's pretty much kind of a biblical retelling, a little bit in a play form, if you will, for a movie where Jennifer Lawrence plays Mother Nature. The house is the earth, and then Javier Bardem essentially is
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Fascinating, just anxiety filled, all
I
that
really
good stuff.
I really liked it when it came out, and it was like people, you either like liked it or you fucking hated it. There was like kind of like no in between. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that where it's like you love or hate that movie, but I thought it was pretty brilliant. So yeah, shouts to Darren Aronofsky. Good stuff there. And again, it does such an amazing job of making you fucking hate everybody else aside from Jennifer
Yeah.
Lawrence's character. So you're like, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
the house, dude. So that
Yeah,
was
1000%.
good.
I honestly, like, if you don't know what it
What
symbolizes,
it's going for.
you're probably watching that movie like, what the fuck is going on? It
Yeah,
makes no
confused
sense.
as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally understandable. And if you don't understand by the time the brothers come into the movie, then just leave. Just stop watching. Like, I'll say that much. It's like pretty obvious at that point.
Yeah,
But
1000%. Yeah, so
it's all yours.
I watched
Okay.
Oddity. It's because me and my wife were like looking for something to watch, and then I saw like a thread like the best horror movies of the year. So I was like, oh, I haven't seen that one, and so turned out to be very good. It was a really good, fucking tense movie. Highly recommend it if you like horror movies. I would say definitely go watch Oddity. I watched the Lacey Peterson documentary on Netflix, 3 episodes of that true crime. Fucking sad, but like horrible. And then I watched
Yeah.
the Steve McNair documentary on Netflix,
Oh, I want to get on that one.
and that was good. So
All
I was on my
right.
I was on my true crime grind, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Steve McNair getting ready for the season to kick off next week. I can't believe it, dude. Jeez. Who do the Steelers got week 1?
I don't even fucking know. I just cannot wait.
Don't even ready
Don't even know.
for football season, baby.
I'm ready for
Yeah.
Russell Wilson to do good for five games and then shit the bed, and then Justin Fields to
And
come
then
in.
Justin Fields comes in, saves the day, go at 500 again.
No, he'll do good for 2 games. People will say, "Oh, he's the fucking future of this franchise," and he's gonna shit the bed too. And we're gonna go 9-8. Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Fucking can't
I
wait.
think that's pretty spot on. It'll be a little bumpy ride.
And then getting fucking killed by the Ravens two times this year. Can't fucking wait.
Do you think this is make or break for Tomlin? Real quick football talk. Make or break season? Or is he pretty bulletproof?
I
Unless it's a
mean,
disaster.
I think last year was a make or break. If he didn't go 500, maybe that would have been it. But I think he's good. So.
Yeah, for sure. A goat, definitely a goat. So, all right, you guys. Well, we will close things up here with the questions that you have given us since the movie club started. There, what did we get? Rainiel saying, "Do you have any inside knowledge on who the next broadcaster will be for the UFC? Why don't they just be their own and host it on Fight Pass?" I mean, then that's kind of like self-recycling a little bit. I see what you're saying.
It would never go on UFC Fight Pass because one, they own UFC Fight Pass and they want to get the money that like that's
with the other places wanting them more.
Yeah, that's the whole
because you
thing.
strike the deal and then you get the additional stuff from the buys, right, Rainiel?
Yeah,
so
1,000%.
that's the thing that happens there.
I have two. I think Netflix is a big player. I think this Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is going to really
determine things, maybe
determine if they do Netflix or not. I think HBO Max probably, like Warner Brothers, has a really good chance to get them. And then ultimately what's going to happen is I think they're going to do whatever streaming service is going to get the fight nights. And I think pay-per-views are going to stay on ESPN Plus.
Right. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Yeah.
Do the NBA style.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about likelihood of Netflix involved somehow. So there we go. Jen says, "Why do I keep seeing people talk about a 165 division? Are they still talking about that? How do we stop people from believing this? It shouldn't even be a talking point." No, I don't see it anymore. I don't know where you're going.
I haven't seen that shit in months.
Yeah, that should have died a good bit ago. Let's see. James says, "Do you guys think the UFC wants uneducated fans, unlike the ones in this chat, so they can put out subpar products that will be praised by uneducated?" Of course. Yeah. The more sheep, the merrier. Let them to.
That's what keeps them go. That's what keeps them putting on shit mid cards.
Yes, exactly. Ghost here saying, "Would both of you guys take people with you like Errol if you guys get your own sponsored show, or is that something you probably can't answer because of conflict of interest?" I see what you're getting at there. But like in a perfect world of doing whatever you want to do, I'll answer it this way. In a perfect world of being able to have that power, and let's say bringing people to Sound and Pound right here and have a big old crazy show and all that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of the dream. I would say you always want to maximize your capabilities, and that's pretty much what Ariel is doing. It's nothing personal with him making his own smart decisions. I would say it probably looks like it's going to turn out pretty good from what he's going for. But
if we had the power to bring over, make a little fucking dream team, like I'll bring over Chuck Mendenhall to be the best writer of all time. Bring over Tom Taylor, bro. I mean,
Tommy T.
Yeah, bring over
what
TT.
More can you ask for?
Yeah, bring over TT. Bring over Chuck Mendenhall, bro. Whew.
Yeah.
Heavy hitters.
We're just not in those positions of power. Yeah, that's all. It's all the bangers. Yeah. But it's all good. Moreno says, do you guys think the worst thing that UFC could do is multiple broadcast partners like that Goof on X said? I'm not sure which way that would dilute the product even more. So I mean, Alex just kind of said he's thinking something like that. But the more spread out it is, I don't know about diluting. If it's just the platforms and not specific event types or anything like that, I don't think it'll be too bad. You know.
The only problem
know.
is with like them leaving ESPN. ESPN is like, you know, if you go into any bar anywhere in the United States, they have ESPN playing in the bar. They don't ever have Netflix playing. They don't have movies playing. They have sports. They have ESPN. You know, like, so that's the problem with them leaving ESPN. Is like, I doubt you go into a bar Saturday. They're gonna have college football on. They're not gonna have Netflix on. You know,
right? Yeah, that's the big difference.
Because I'm assuming, you know, I don't know how like the Netflix subscription works for bars. Like if they have to like pay Netflix an extra amount of money to have a subscription so they can play it in the bar. You know, like,
yeah. I mean, I've never seen that, so yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see. Hype says, Alex laughing at the presser with Dana made it so much better. Yes, it was a good old fun time last night.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan.
Let's see. It goes. Yeah. As Zach has a serious question. Is John Jones the greatest fighter of all time?
He is indeed. And if you don't think that, you're fucking retarded.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Oh man. What a perfect way to close it out. That's literally how Dana closed it out last night. So we'll go out on that note. Another episode of Sound and Pound in the books, you guys. It has been good to be back for episode 44. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing when we're live. Following MMA Mania at MMA Mania on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. Follow myself at DrakeRiggs_, at Alex Pahunin, Twitter and Instagram for both of us. And yeah, don't forget to check out all we got going on for the shameless pluggeroonies. I spoke to Dakota Ditcheva last week, as I told you. That dropped on Monday. Check it out on the website. Got the article or just the viewing version for your eyeballs and your ears here on YouTube. That is out. And then I also spoke to Norma Dumont. Spoke to her on Monday. Released the interview yesterday. Check that out. She had plenty of good things to say about the title fight, which she is not a fan of, as neither am I. So I was really happy to hear her shitting on Pennington and Pena. So go check that out. That was a good time. And then, yeah, tomorrow we will be dropping Broaden Horizon episode 43, I think it is. 42, 43. I'm losing track of the Broaden Horizon numbers, but that will be coming to you on Thursday, you guys, with Kana Asakura and Ty Emery. So look forward to seeing those two. Kana's last time, probably your last time on Broaden Horizon, since you'll be retiring at Sekizawa next month. So check that one out. It was a good conversation, you guys. But Alex, what do we got coming down the pipe for you?
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot this week. I think I'm going to do a prospect of the month because the month is almost over and I totally forgot about that. So we'll have that out at some point within the next 2 days. And yeah, that's it.
All right, there you go. I'm picking up that slack for Alex. But we're here anyways. And we will be back next Tuesday as well, you guys, for episode 45 of Sound and Pound. Back on Tuesday, because it is a Wednesday right now, which feels weird. And I just realized I said Tuesday at the start of the show. I'm so used to that. I just got hit with that realization.
Yeah,
that's okay. No one corrected me. No one corrects me. Next Tuesday, you guys, we'll be back. Regular time, regular programming. Same channel, same website, all that good stuff. Until then, peace out, everybody. We will see ya.